ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeff Rains coming to you again with Foundation of Civilization. And I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I wanted to do a weekly rundown of what I've seen happen over the past week. Of course, I'd love to do a daily rundown, but so far I haven't made enough money to turn this into my regular daily job. So here goes. First of all, starting in Europe. Auto manufacturers are cutting shifts and closing plants. Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagens previously had announced plans to cut back on their workers and the hours of their workers. And now Audi has joined those two uh, manufacturers. They are having financial problems. They're not able to sell the vehicles, and so they're adjusting their manufacturing plants. In addition, Coca-Cola is shutting down 5 plants in Germany. Customers just don't have the money available to buy luxury items such as Coca-Cola anymore. I mentioned about a month ago that European governments were warning their citizens to be prepared for emergencies. They have extensive documents to help their people, but many of their citizens are very poorly prepared. They're encouraging their citizens to be prepared for 72 hours. I have to tell you, that is just a basic level of preparedness. I would encourage them to be prepared for several months. BRICS nations gathered together in Russia to make plans for further their financial cooperation. This time they are joined by new nations: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates, expanding their numbers to 10. North Korean troops have entered Russia to fight alongside of Russian troops against the Ukrainian troops. An estimated 8,000 troops have entered Russia, and it's unknown of their exact roles and if they will enter the contested areas of Ukraine or if they will remain in internationally recognized territory of Russia. Currently, it is estimated that they are in the Kursk region of Russia. Russian forces conducted a nuclear exercises with all of their strategic missile forces from land, sea, and air. Floods struck Spain and in the Valencia area. Over 150 people. It's estimated that over 150 people were killed, and they said that a year's worth of rain fell in just a few days. In Asia, China's bank boss is caught up in an anti-corruption turmoil. China continues to conduct exercises around Taiwan and threaten to reunite the island nation with mainland China. This week, they had the largest number of aircraft and naval ships in their exercise to date that surrounded the island. North Korea tested another missile, this one with much longer flight time and than their previous missiles. They have to pull some uh, interesting techniques to avoid international incidents because their missiles are getting a range that is impacting or threatening the United States. In fact, right now it's estimated that they can hit most of the United States. In the United States, economic reports from the government show a strong economy, but when you dig into the numbers, we find that uh, the U.S. economic growth is due to government growth, not private sector growth. Bureau of Labor Statistics released their final employment report on November 1st, final employment report before the election. The last one is the last one before the election. Only 12,000 private sector jobs were created as opposed to the expected 100,000. Meanwhile, they also reduced last month's rosy job report by 100,000 jobs. They've been doing that quite a bit lately. In fact, last year they just erased 818,000 jobs at the end of the year, and nobody seemed to notice. Additionally, manufacturing sector lost 46,000 jobs in September. At the same time, inflation is creeping up again, and now it's back up to 3.1%. It had been at 2.7, I think it dropped down to 2.7%, maybe 2.1%. Those were the numbers that those were the high numbers that we were seeing during the last election and under the previous administration. The election cycle is coming to a close, and as of this Tuesday, and I hope that everybody has voted and made your voices heard. The election is becoming more heated. A lot of rhetoric uh, is being thrown at both sides. They're Everybody's questioning each other's trustworthiness, capabilities, and loyalty. Democrats called into question Donald Trump's use of Madison Square Garden for a rally, harkening back to when the site was used for the Nazi rally in 1939. They skipped right over the time whenever the Democrats used the same location to nominate Bill Clinton as their candidate in 1992. Jeff Bezos publicly intervened in the newspaper that he owns, the Washington Post. Their editorial board was ready to endorse Kamala Harris for president. He sent them a letter, and he said and demanded that they not endorse her. I'm going to discuss this more in another post, but this is a high watermark, an incident that shows how much the mainstream media has lost, how much power they have lost over the past several years. In his letter, he noted that they cannot fail to inform their readers of the truth and then try to sway the same voters toward one candidate over another. Now, mind you, during the last administration, he was also, because he was challenging President Trump, he was also threatened with Amazon losing a $10 billion deal with the Department of Defense. Boy, I'd love to be able to get a hold of a deal like that. As people are going to the polls, a number of election incidents have occurred. Drop boxes in Washington and Oregon have been set on fire. Additionally, other drop boxes have not been secured. People are losing keys. People are leaving keys in the boxes. It's unknown how many people's votes have been affected with these incidents. In Kentucky, a one man showed a video of him trying to cast his ballot for Donald Trump, and the machine would not allow him to. It would allow him to cast a vote for Kamala Harris. Now, I wouldn't bring this up because one incident doesn't show a trend, but the Kentucky Attorney General sent a team to the area, and they were able to recreate the incident, which calls into question the veracity of uh, the the voting machines. Other similar incidents have been noted in other states. For instance, Arkansas. Uh, in separate incidents, in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, individuals claiming to be officials and dressed similar to police, carrying badges, and or other people carrying authentic-looking badges, were turning people away from voting locations, saying that it was closed. That that's just straight up election interference. Additionally, a threatening letter was sent to Republicans in Pennsylvania. The author warned them that they would know how they voted and that they better vote the right way. It was very, very, a very, very serious letter. Uh, there was also another curious incident during a live event that showed that a ticker at the bottom of the screen with Kamala Harris winning Pennsylvania by 5%, with all the counters reporting in, even though the election was still over a week away. Um, this th- this election cycle is going to be s- it's going to be very interesting. There Now, before I close this out, I want to highlight something that has come up this week. Um, do you remember back a month or two ago that the Congress said that, hey, we have a problem and we could have a serious incident if there is a mass casualty event with Congress? And they came up with some new plans to maintain continuity of government in case of such an an incident. Well, on Monday night, the the military conducted an operation where they landed a dozen helicopters at the Capitol. They would land them, as I understood it, they were landing them about four at a time, two on one side, two on the other. And they were walking through practicing what they would do to evacuate people. Um, something something seems very fishy with all of these all these things coming together. I would forewarn you to be careful. I would also avoid the Capitol if you can. Next Tuesday, next week, uh, something just doesn't seem to be right. Now, I am going to I'm going to try to start maintaining a database, but that's in between everything else that I have to do of the infrastructure problems that we have been having lately. This week, the infrastructure that stands out to me is that there was a battery plant, a recycling plant that burned down in Frederick's town, Missouri. All the workers were accounted for. I believe only a few of them were injured, but the entire plant was gone. Locals were advised to evacuate or shelter in place, depending on how close they were to the facility. The plant owners had touted that they had an advanced fire suppression system, and it's unknown if there were any problems with that fire suppression system going into this prior to this incident. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, this is concludes my news for the week. I know that there are plenty of other things that are going on that have happened. Certain things that are, very important, and I encourage you to keep up to date and look for good sources of news that will help you keep up to date on what's going on here in the United States and around the world. Thank you again. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let your friends know what's happening. And please get prepared. Challenges are coming.